Hey guys, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. It's beer 30. Let's go take a walk, see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer comes from Lagunitas Brewing. This was sent to me by Lagunitas. Karen and all the people up there in Chicago at their brew pub up there. They're in charge of sending out the new releases and seasonal beers and all that kind of stuff. I reviewed this beer 5 years ago, guys, when I was first doing beer reviews. This was number 300 and some beer review. I don't remember exactly the number, but they sent it to me again. I don't know why. This is not a new beer. The only reason I can think of it that they come out with this once a year, I guess, and they sent it to me as a new release. But it looks exactly the same as it did then. Wilco Tango Foxtrot, and if you take those first three numbers, WTF, what the? Well, I didn't say that. A multi-robust, jobless recovery ale. And that's what they had it at 5 years ago. And we're still in that stage. The jobs have not come back. We still have many people unemployed. Thanks to Mr. Obama. Can't wait till that man's out of the White House. And I don't post a lot of political stuff on my site, but he has done nothing as far as I'm concerned for this country. Actually, we've gotten worse. I think everybody, from me saying that, knows where I stand. This is a 7.5% alcohol by volume, and they usually do some kind of silly-ass Julian code somewhere on the bottle. It's not on the label. And the original brewery, guys, is out of Petaluma, California. But they post this as a limited release, and it says here it's a spring release. And I'm reviewing this on the 26th of August. Here almost the end of August, almost into September. Summer's winding down, guys. It's spring release beers. We already got pumpkin beers out, and I wouldn't doubt within another week or two we're going to see the winter beers coming. These breweries rush. They want to be the first one to have their seasonal beer out. So, and people are still at the beach, and it's 95 freaking degrees here, and they've got pumpkin beers out. What the is up with that? I don't understand. I'm not interested in drinking a pumpkin beer, guys, when it's 95 degrees, and I'm just not. Just me, though. A lot of people like those beers and like to drink them all the time. I'm not one of them. I'm not interested in drinking a pumpkin beer till the end of September and 1st of October, till we start getting closer to Halloween when the pumpkins are ready. So, where are they getting their pumpkins from in June and July? They're not this year's crop. Either they're canned pumpkins or something like that, some kind of pumpkin puree. Even if it has pumpkins in it, they're not this year's crop. So, I just don't know why they try to rush the seasons. But let's get through Labor Day, and then we'll talk about pumpkin beers. But here we go with the Wilco Tango Foxtrot. Like I said, this is a review. I did this 5 years ago, so we'll see what I think of it now. All right, food pairings for this style of beer. Now, I did tell you it's a 7.83%. IBUs they have here on Rate Beer is 64. Let's see what Untappd says. They say 59 for the IBUs, so evidently it's changing, and 7.85% instead of 7.83. The bottle says 7.85, so evidently it's changing from year to year. Not much, but just enough for it changes the IBUs and the ABVs. So Food pairings for this style of beer, guys. It says here for an American brown ale and 7.8 whatever. That's almost to the imperial category. And it may say that on the bottle. No. It's got the IBUs listed here on the bottle as 64.20. So we're getting a lot of variations here. So you have to look at each individual bottle on what you're going to get. Because like I said, a lot of times the recipes change. Even if you're doing the same recipe, sometimes it changes with if they use different hops or different malt or whatever, even though the recipe is basically the same. So. And I'll look on the bottle to see if we can find that silly Julian code that these guys at Lagunitas use. I love these guys to death, but I hate that Julian code. Month, day, and a year. They got a machine that's printing it on there, so they could print the month, day, and a year, but they choose not to. And I don't like it. Like I said yesterday, I don't like it. I don't. So, food pairings for this beer: cuisines, barbecue cheese, earthy camembert fontina, your nutty cheeses, Asiago Colby, Parmesan. And they say here goes well with your chocolate dishes. It's the brown ale. And the Dr. Rose Pine back in Tom the Mug Stein Seidel. I'm using my favorite snifter today. And not recommended for extended cellaring. So it's 7.8 some percent. Now this beer's going to keep for a little while. I don't know why you couldn't sell it for a couple of years anyway. So, but we're not going to sell it this one. I'm going to pour a little aggressive to get a little bit of head on the back end. And this is a bomber. I'm going to save the other half for her. Pour her a glass. A little more than a finger of head. Over into the light is a deep caramel color. A lot of red ruby tinges on it. It is kind of clear. I can see the light through it. So it looks like a filtered beer to me. Let's get a nose on it. Nice off-white. It's not to the stout deep brown colored head. It's more of a light khaki colored or an off-white head. Tight bubbles, a little bit bigger bubbles on the side, kind of creamy on top, a few bigger bubbles, but very good looking beer. Lagunitas does some really good tasty stuff, so I'm glad I'm on their list for the new releases and seasonal beers. So Karen, once again, thank you, I do appreciate it. A lot of hop forwardness to this beer, so I don't know if you'd really want to sell this beer for a long time, because you're going to lose that. I am getting a little bit of pininess in there. Nice sweet back end. Caramel and toffee. Maybe hints of some dark fruit. Smells very good. It's time. Let's give it a taste. Cheers, everybody. Alcohol is super well hidden. Invisible almost. 7.82, almost 8%er. You drink a whole bottle or two of this, you're going to be there. No doubt. Maybe even, depending on what you normally drink, just one whole bottle of this may get you there. Very nice. Well, very well done. Kind of citrusy, slight hints of some pine, big sweetness on the back end, not quite to the barley wine stage. A very easy drinking brown ale for this big of a brown ale. But there is a little bit of hop forwardness to it, so I don't really think you'd want to cellar this beer. I don't. You probably ought to drink this beer in the first 3 to 6 months, 8 months that you get your hands on it when they released it. And like I said, we'll look, see if we can find out their silly ass Julian code, like I call it, on the bottle when I come back here. But I'm going to take this out, sit on the deck for a little bit, might fire up a stogie, but a very tasty beer, guys. I don't think it's world-class, outstanding tin beer, but it is pretty tasty. So let me let it come up to room temperature. It's 40 degrees right out of the fridge. And pour her a glass and sip on it for a little while and see where I end up. I didn't go back and watch a review I did 5 years ago. I'm going to base this on where my palate is right now and what I think of the beer right now, whether it's a better grade, worse grade, or whatever it is. I'm going to tell you what I think of the beer, this beer right now. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back, and we've been sipping on this, I don't know, probably about 25-30 minutes or so. Very tasty beer, guys. And their little silly Julian code here says 177.62. So that's telling me this beer was bottled on the 177th day of 2016. And you can Google that, see what day that is. About halfway through the year. So I say this beer was probably put in the bottle in June. And I'm reviewing this in August, July, August. It's about 2 months in the bottle for 7.85%. I think that's what it says it is, 7.85%. That's fairly fresh for this style of beer. I wish they would go to the, they got a machine and they just soon put that Julian code on there, and I've had comments from the people that work there, some of the guys that work there, that they would rather see a month and a year put on the bottles, but they have no control over that. That is upper management making those decisions. So the guys there at Petaluma and Chicago that are bottling the beers, I know y'all have no control over, guys. It's beyond your control, but you have the machine, and the upper management need to get their head out of their ass and put a month and a year on the bottles. It's my opinion. Everything else is on the label, guys. The IBUs and the ABV. It's just we got to deal with that Julian code, and you have to know what it means. So, I think it's a very tasty beer, guys. I really do. I think it's worth picking up. I think it's a great beer. I think it's in the style that it is for, and Break Beer is calling it an American Strong Ale, whereas Beer Advocate is calling it a American Brown Ale. So, not sure what category that the beer is actually shooting for. It looks more like a brown ale, but it tastes a lot like a strong ale, so maybe it's a combination of both. We do need job recovery. That's what they're calling this thing, jobless recovery ale, and we definitely need that. So hopefully whoever gets in the White House will make that happen. We do need some jobs here. Everything has been shipped out to Mexico and China and all this ever since Bill Clinton passed the NAFTA Act, and I thought he was a fairly good president, except for that one thing. Anybody gets a blowjob in the White House, I got great admiration for. But that was the one downfall that man did. And the jobs have left here ever since, and they have run across the border. So we need somebody in the White House that's going to correct that. So I think you know where I'm going. Very tasty beer, guys. I enjoyed this. Thanks again to Karen and the guys at Lagunitas for sending it to me. Very tasty. Very easy drinking. It does have a hop forwardness to it, so I don't think you want to sell this beer for a long time. You probably want to drink it pretty fresh if you want to get that hoppiness. Now, if you're not into the hoppiness, sell it for a while. Sell it for a year or 2 or 3. And it's going to be a lot more maltier than it is fresh out of the bottle. So, final chug. No, we don't want to leave that in the bottle. No, we don't. Very tasty, guys. I don't think it's to the 10 category myself. I think it's probably a little lower than that. It does have a bottle on date, but it's a Julian code, and they are attempting there. So maybe we can keep fussing enough where they will change that. But IBUs, ABV on the label, and the bottled on date, not a Best By date or well, a Julian code, not a Best By date or Best Before date. So I have to give them a thumbs up on that, because I do know how to read the Julian code if they do. But it's almost impossible to see with the beer in the bottle. So you almost have to buy it and pour it into a glass before you can see that. So, not a big fan. I just as in them put it on the label somewhere. Or put it up, excuse me, another sticker on the back of the bottle with that information on it. It doesn't have a rear sticker or even a neck label that tells you that. And they could do that. They could. I mean, use the same label over and over and over again, and just put another label on the back or on the neck telling you what the date and what this year or this edition is as far as I'll be using that, and they could use the same label over and over and over and over again, year after year after year on the bottom. So, just a hint there, guys. Just a hint. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But it's very tasty. I do think it's an A beer, guys, and I'm going to give it that. I'm going to give it the 8, which is A minus. Numeric rating for me, guys, so it would probably be a 90, 91. I'm going to give them the 91 since it's got all 3 bits of information. So 91 for me, guys. We'll go over to Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate says 88. I think it's a couple notches above that. They've got it in a very good category, and it is a very good category. Very good beer in the category. So, and over to Rate Beer, they say 96 overall and 88 in the style. And we will step over to Untapped, and Untapped says it's 3.82, which is the upper B. That's probably in my numeric rating. That is a 7. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I think it's a little bit better than a 7. I think it's up to the 8 category, and it could possibly, with a better dating on it, it could even get up to the 9 category. So 9 beer and 8 bottle. I say that all the time for a lot of these beers. But I want to see something legible that you ain't got to pour the beer out to see, and in a month, day, and a year, and some Julian code. It's just me, guys. Bottom line. So if you've had this one from Lagunitas, their Wilco Tango Foxtrot, WTF, what the? Let me know what you think, guys. It's a tasty beer. The other half loved it, and I did too. I just would like to see them do something a little bit better with their dating machine. So if you had it, let me know. Let's come back tomorrow and walk into the kitchen and see what's in the fridge. See you then.